start and stream. Patrish, you are live.
A very warm welcome to you all, no matter where you're watching from in the world. I am Pat, your underwater biologist today. On camera, we have Emil, and up on the surface, we have my girl Lauren. So today, I am at the Devil's Grotto, which is to the right-hand side of Casuarina Point and Don Foster's Dive Centre, here on the western side of Grand Cayman Island. So today, we are starting relatively shallow. I am at about 6 metres, so about 20 feet down. So we're going to head out along this sand patch here and keep our eyes out for an eagle ray. But also we're going to be looking under these ledges here for a lobster or a moray eel. Now, we have a school of sennets swimming past over here. So we'll go over and have a look at these fish while Lauren says hello.
Hi everybody, welcome to the second live dive of today, and it is a bit of a stormy day here in Grand Cayman, but it looks beautiful underwater, and sometimes the stormy days create the best conditions for marine life. So yeah, it looks like we have a school of sennets, Pat.
Yeah, there's lots of them here. So, I'd say about 60, maybe 70 in this school. Now, sennets are close relatives of the barracuda, but unlike the barracuda, these guys tend to stay in schools, just like what we're seeing now. Now, there are two different species, the northern and the southern, but unfortunately, it is pretty much impossible to tell them apart just by looking at them.
Yeah, that's true. You would have to do internal analysis to identify between the two. So this is either the northern sennet or the southern sennet. And they are part of the wider barracuda family, but they are a little bit different from the great barracuda that we see in that they are always found in schools. So we do have a request from Craig and myself, of course, Pat, to find a turtle.
Of course, I'll be always on the lookout for a turtle. And on top of requests, if you have any questions, please do send them in. We are on Twitter. You have to use the hashtag diveLIVE if you're asking on Twitter so we can see it. And we're also taking questions on our Facebook page and on our YouTube page. Now, if you are watching along on Paddy's Facebook page, unfortunately we can't monitor that stream at the moment, so go to diveLIVE to the diveLIVE YouTube page if you want to ask questions. So Emil is pointing out something up here. A school of blue tanks, so we're going from one school to the next.
Must be school day for all the fish down there. You can still see those sennets in the background.
Yeah, there's a lot of action happening right now, which is great, and the visibility is really good today as well. I would say about 20, maybe, about 25 meters or 80 feet.
So Paula's asking, is it common for us to see stingrays? And yes, it absolutely is. My dive this morning, the 7 a.m. dive, we saw 3 separate stingrays. One large female and one sort of immature male, and another one I wasn't able to sex. So yes, we absolutely do.
So I reckon there's about the same amount of blue tongues in this school as they were in that school of sennets, about 60 to 70 fish. But obviously these blue tongues are a lot different. So they are herbivores, so they will be scouring this reef in search of algae. And when one spots the algae, they all spot the algae, which is the advantage of hanging out in big schools like this one.
Yeah, schooling is one of their 3 social complexes, so they regularly school for safety in numbers. It creates a lot of confusion on the reef, so some predators will stay away because it's just a big messy event. And of course they travel fast and they feed hard.
Yes, we can see that happening right now.
But they can also wander. It's called wandering, where they are on their own, so they don't have the safety in the numbers, but they can obviously choose where they want to go and eat what they like. And it probably is much easier for them when they're on their own, just to hide in a crevice or under a rock. Blue tangs actually also show territorial behavior, where they will sort of guard an area, like territory, and stay within that one patch. However, the most common social behavior that we do see here is the schooling.
Alright, so that's a very nice start to the dive with those two schools of one carnivorous, one herbivorous. But we can see that schooling does benefit both feeding modes. So now, let's head out this way a little bit and see what else we can find.
Yes, and the visibility does look great. We're getting great colours here, so hopefully we can find something awesome.
Yes, it is great to dive even in bad visibility, but days like this, it is just more awesome.
We do have what looks like a grouper ahead, just sort of randomly sitting on the sand.
It almost looks as if it's dead, doesn't it?
It does. It might be being cleaned. It's got the left gill covering wide open.
Yes, I think that is definitely what's happening. Now, as to the species of this grouper, I am not too sure. Or is it even a grouper?
I would need a side on. Oh, we're getting a really close-up view into the gills there. It's definitely been cleaned.
Yeah, okay, and it is definitely a grouper, but I do not know the species. It's got some really cool markings here on the side of its body.
I'll identify it if we can get a side-on shot. At the minute, I can only see the tail.
So, Lauren and I, at the moment, are trying to play a game where every dive we want to identify something new. So, we haven't actually shown the senates before, so that was already one. So this could be potentially number 2.
I'm just having a look. Bear with me, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about groupers, Pat, while I'm having a look.
Yeah. So groupers are widely distributed across the world. They inhabit a whole range of climates and depths, and they are obviously very ferocious predators. So we can tell that by these big, massive, robust jaws. It makes it look like it's got big fat lips. And then in the mouth it's got tiny little, well not tiny teeth, but small teeth that are very sharp and can grasp onto their prey. But generally their mouths are so big that they can just swallow the prey whole. Now they are very stealthy animals. They do tend to stay very still a lot. We don't often see them doing much except laying there either camouflaging or being cleaned or just hanging out. But trust me, when they do want to predate and go out hunting, they are very efficient at it.
So, Pat, just to confirm, they do not have a yellow tip at the fins, do they?
No, not that I can see. Maybe. There's definitely some sort of tinge to it. Oh, yes, now that it's swimming off, I'm thinking it might be a yellowfin grouper.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. It did look like a yellowfin, but I could see those sort of stripes going down the body. It could also be a juvenile black grouper.
Okay. Wow, that's cool. And I'm joined here by a very curious mutton snapper.
Hi there.
He probably thinks I'm a stingray sifting through the sand, trying to find some crustaceans that I'll stir up and send his way. But you're not in luck today, sorry mate.
So we had a question, is blue tangs the only species of tangs we get around here, Pat?
No, we don't. So tangs are surgeonfish, and surgeonfish are characterised by the disc-shaped bodies that we see with the blue tang, and also having a little spine towards the back of their body, just between their tail and their body, called the caudal peduncle. So we also get here in Grand Cayman the ocean surgeonfish, which do actually look very similar to the blue tang, but sometimes they'll have a darker body, different coloration, and a white bar towards the base of their tail.
Yes, and we also get the doctor fish, which is another type of surgeon fish. So those are probably the three most common ones we have here. And Pat, is this the same grouper?
No, this is a different one.
Oh wow, okay, I'm back on it.
Yeah, I haven't seen this species of grouper, definitely. It's almost completely white.
So John did comment that the other one looked like a Nassau grouper, and it did, but I really don't believe it was the first one.
Definitely wasn't a Nassau.
Amot said it's most likely a black grouper, and I think I'm going to go with that one too. And if it is, that will be our first time talking about a black grouper. So regarding this one, let me have a look. What size would you say this one is, Pat?
Ooh, I would say this one is about 70 centimetres long, so a little bit over 2 foot.
And can you describe its colour for me?
It's almost got a completely white body, but it's not really a proper white. It's got a little bit of a dark tinge to it. Almost a grey sort of colour, and I can't really see any distinct markings either.
Okay, it's gone from my field of view, I'm afraid, but it could be one of many groupers. It could have been a pale yellowfin, the black grouper also, but I did see some bars running down the body, so we will need to check on that one.
No worries. So just going to fix up this cord here, but we do have some tarpons right here. These ones are smaller tarpons. I would say, well, this one right here is probably only about 70, maybe 80 centimetres. Now this might seem big for a fish, but for tarpons they can get much bigger. So that one was probably only about 2 feet, but some tarpons can reach up to 2.5 metres, so well over 6 feet long.
Yeah, tarpon get really, really big. You can just see them in the background there behind Pat. They're really large, ancient, old fish. Oh, Pat, we have a porcupine fish hiding out here.
Oh, these ones are a diveLIVE favourite, these porcupine fish. They are very cute. They have big, sooky eyes and those pursed lips. Gives it a very awesome appearance.
Yeah, this one's just that's a nocturnal animal, so it's just hiding out in the comfort of that little cave there.
So they are a very odd-shaped animal, and they have kind of had a bit of a trade-off here. So obviously their body shape makes them very awkward swimmers and not very efficient swimmers, but they trade this off for their defense mechanism. So not only are they armed with these spines that they can protect themselves with when they inflate and puff themselves up, but they also have a bacteria that lives in their tissues and organs that produces a toxin called a tetrodotoxin. Now this toxin is extremely toxic. It's I think over 1,000 times more toxic than cyanide, is that right?
1,200 times.
Wow, yeah, so very, very deadly, but that actually doesn't stop people from eating it. In some Asian countries, there are chefs that have to get a very special license to carefully fillet these fish and serve them up. Now sometimes there is a fault and people do die just from eating these fish.
And Lara Moore said it sounds like a Harry Potter fish, so that made me laugh. I thought I would share that with everybody. But we do have a really interesting comment here from Ekula mentioning, is it true that when the pufferfish blows up like a ball, it can kill them if they do it too many times. There is a lot of misconception about this, so they obviously do puff up when they're threatened or feeling endangered, but it takes them a long time to get rid of that air. So they can pump in the air rapidly, blow up rapidly, but to deflate again, it takes them a very long time, and it can actually take 5.6 hours for their metabolism to return to normal. So a tired fish is a very vulnerable fish. So they can often be eaten when they're actually at the deflation stages. It's the most risky for the animals. So it doesn't kill them. There is some theories that it can damage the internal organs, but the actual inflation and deflation itself doesn't kill them. It just wipes them of their energy.
Very well answered there, Lauren. So we have some more tarpon here. They are quite common to see here in the Devil's Grotto, especially during the day. And that is because they are nocturnal animals. So generally they will go around the reefs at night time and look around for food. And then during the day they'll come back here where it's nice and sheltered and dark and just rest and hang out for the rest of the day. Ooh. Although sometimes they do get a little bit energetic like just then. Now tarpon are fascinating fish, so they can breathe both air and breathe underwater. So they have a swim bladder, which is an organ most fish have, which helps them control their buoyancy by pumping air in or out. But in tarpon, this also acts as kind of a pseudo or a fake lung, that when they come to the surface, they can get a gulp of air and then use that for their metabolism. So this gives them an advantage, especially in oxygen-depleted water, because oxygen obviously contributes a lot to metabolism. So if it's scarce, the fish that don't have as much oxygen, because they're in oxygen-depleted water, will be slow and kind of sluggish, whereas the tarpon can come to the surface, take a gulp of air, and then they can have the energy to catch the really slow fish.
So just to confirm for everyone, this is a tarpon, T-A-R-P-O-N, tarpon, and it's part of the megalops grouping of fish, a very ancient lineage of fish that have survived a long time through evolution. And it's tarpons with an O.
Now, sorry Lauren, I'm just going to get you to take over for a little bit. I've just got to work this cable out here, and then we'll be all sweet again.
Not a problem at all. So tarpons, like I mentioned, are part of the megalops group, and that basically just means mega for large and lops for face. They have very large, grumpy looking faces. And they are nocturnal, so all they are doing here is sort of schooling in a mini school, probably just for safety. They're just resting. They're trying to save all their energy and remain as inactive as possible to save up their energy for a night of hunting again. And I have actually never seen tarpon before until I went to Mexico. So they are very exciting animals to see when you see them first, because they really are so large. And the fact that they can breathe air is just fascinating. Not many fish can do that. So Pat already explained they just use their swim bladder, which is just an organ that fish have to control buoyancy. It's actually an adaptation of their digestive tract. It forms a little swim bladder and they can control their buoyancy. But these guys are able to use it to breathe air. Now you can imagine all the benefits these animals have if they can survive in areas where there's really low oxygen, in mangroves and possibly even estuaries or areas where there's a lot of dead vegetation. These guys can come in and thrive and eat up all the animals that are living there because they're able to go to the surface and breathe air.
Yeah, they are really incredible creatures, and they can even withstand super different environmental conditions. So they have been even found in fresh water. So They are marine creatures, but they can tolerate very low salinities. Salinity being the amount of salt that is dissolved in the water.
So, we have another question about the enemies of the tarpon. What eats them, Pat?
What eats tarpon? Well, sharks eat tarpon. And I have even heard, this isn't actually scientific evidence, but anecdotal evidence, that tarpons will eat their young sometimes. So they can cannibalize smaller tarpons.
So they are actually really closely related to the eels. You wouldn't actually think that, but they are the distant cousins of eels. And you can get a better idea of this when you look at their larvae. They're young. The larvae, when they're very, very small, they actually look like little ribbon eels. You would never guess that they are the young of the tarpon. And they do a thing called daisy chaining. Now, not much is understood about this, so it's when they form a circle and they just keep swimming around nose to tail in a circle constantly. And it's not really known exactly why they do it. They originally thought it was maybe for reproduction, but that's been proven wrong. So they're one of the few fish known to do this, and it's really unknown why. I think the largest ever recorded tarpon was around 300 pounds, which is about 140 kilograms. So these guys get pretty big.
Yeah, they are humongous fish. I think it's just because we're so used to seeing them now that we don't really appreciate just the size of them because we see them so often, but they really are mammoth fish. There's not many fish that you see this frequently that grow to that size.
And Frank, I wish I had a swim bladder too, then I wouldn't need a BCD. That's a great idea. We do normally see a tarpon that has fishing line attached to it. Are you able to see that one, Pat?
Ooh, let me have a look. I can't see it at the moment. So that either means it's not a part of this school right now, or, even better, the hook is rusted out of its mouth and it's freed.
I mean, they look really gentle and a little bit timid right now, but they are really effective predators, and they have about 125 million years of evolution under their belts. So they're really well adapted, and they're unfortunately classic victims of their own success because they are a very, very prized fish when fishing.
Right, so we're going to come back up over this bommy now. So I just want you all to take notice of just how high this thing goes when we come over it. I would say it's about 7 meters or about 25 feet high. So it is quite a steep incline, and then we'll come back over the top, down again.
Yeah, you can see the Devil's Grotto is a real beautiful landscape. The topography is insane with all these different outcrops and coral bombings, which is probably why the fish diversity is really high here. We see a lot of life at this dive site called the Devil's Grotto. So Pat, can you just give us an air check?
Yeah, so I've actually been going through my air very quickly. I'm not sure why, but I'm on 110 bar. Sorry, I'll do that again. I was just letting some air on my BC. 110 bar.
I think you're doing quite well. You have plenty bar left with us to continue the dive. So please do send in your questions. Make sure you're on the diveLIVE channels, especially if you're on Twitter. Use the hashtag diveLIVE.
So I'm really hoping that we do get this turtle coming today, because we are going to move off the sand patch now, so I don't think we're going to see any rays or eagle rays. Oh, what's Emil pointed out? What have we got here? Emil's just pointed. Oh! Whoa!
I can see
Whoa! Look at the size of this!
It looks huge!
Whoa! So is a grouper. A Goliath grouper, do you think?
I don't think it's a Goliath, but I will check.
No, I think this is a snapper. Yeah, I reckon this one's a snapper.
What size do you think it is?
Oh, about 1.20 m, maybe 1.50 m.
And what do you think it is, Pat?
I think it's a snapper. It has the stripes of a mutton snapper, but I couldn't see the spot towards the rear of its tail.
Okay, it could be a dog snapper.
Oh, yes, yeah, I think that is a dog snapper actually.
Or it could be the Kubera snapper, which we've never seen before.
What a humongous fish! Wow.
You can see those big lips and those small eyes. Very similar, but definitely different to groupers.
So snappers, just like groupers, are ferocious predators as well, and they pretty much have the same hunting techniques. They have big muscular bodies, big strong jaws and little teeth. So
John has identified it as a dog, but I think he means a dog snapper. That made me laugh, sorry. We do have other suggestions from people that it is a Kubera, so we were on the right tracks. What is hard for us to see the colour, but what colour would you say its fins are?
its fins are, they are almost, they're like a lustre grey, so a kind of shiny grey, and they have on the pectoral fins, on the dorsal fin, sorry, the ventral fin, they have a white stripe along the outside.
I like to think it's a Kubera, but maybe when you get to the surface we can confirm.
Yeah.
It's definitely one or the other.
Yeah.
So the grotto's alive today with large fish.
Yeah. Big groupers, big snappers, big tarpon, and it looks like we have a school of horse-eyed jacks down here.
Oh yeah, we can see them schooling in sort of a circular motion off ahead in the distance. They're like silvery flecks, and we probably already know they're the horse-eyed jacks because they're always hanging around in this area in a school.
Hold up, sorry, 1 second there, Emil. I'm just going to fix up this cable before we go back that way.
Not a problem. We do manage a lot of cable underwater, so it's important just to make sure.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get a little bit closer to these horse-eyed jacks. For some reason, they're always here at the grotto in this circular motion, and I can already see from this distance that there is a few chubs in there too.
There's always a chub in there, isn't there?
It's not 100% all horse-eyed jacks. So horse-eyed jacks are also called big eyes, depending on where you are in the world. But here in the Caribbean, we call these guys a horse-eyed jacks. And look at that really forked, bright yellow tail.
Wow, so these guys are pretty calm around divers. There is actually some people that think that they are attracted to the bubbles of divers because they think it might be some food stirred up. Okay, we can see that they've got a line of kind of spikes running down their tails, and these are called scutes. Just like the scales on the side of a turtle's face, they're called scutes. And if you were to grab this, it could cut your hand very badly.
The colour is incredible today. You can really see that bright yellow tail, and we do have a black Durgan in the middle there. very randomly positioned and not so well camouflaged as it probably thinks it is. That is a triggerfish in amongst this big school of horse eyes.
So we have had a lot of schools today. So this is the fourth school. So we have the horse-eyed jacks, the tarpons, the sennets, and the blue tangs.
So Paula's asking, what is the biggest school that you have seen?
The biggest school that I have seen?
Yeah.
Ooh. Probably back home I was snorkeling and we get these fish called yellow-eyed mullets, and there was probably about 200 to 300 in this school, and they were just everywhere you looked there were these mullets there.
And what about here in the Grand Cayman?
Here in the Grand Cayman, probably either the horse-eyed jacks or the blue tangs are the biggest schools I've seen.
So this is off topic, but the conversation seems to be centering around this one topic right now. So Pat, Paula's asking, what should you do if you get a jellyfish sting?
Well, if you get a jellyfish sting, the first thing to do is not panic, to try and withstand the pain, and then after that, get yourself to a safe place to shore. And generally to treat jellyfish stings, you put vinegar on it. Now, some people think that if you pee on it as well, that will also help to neutralise a sting. But it depends on the jellyfish as well. Some stings you can just, it's just a little zap. It's no more annoying than being stung by a mosquito. But some can be very, very bad. And in some cases, you may even need to get yourself to a hospital. But generally, it's good to have some vinegar on hand, just in case.
Yes, I do believe vinegar does the trick to neutralise the sting. You should never use fresh water, that's for sure. That's one of the things you don't do, but vinegar has always worked really well for me in my past career. There is a bit of a question mark over urine, but in my experience it had worked. I won't go into any more details, but yes, I do think it depends on the severity of the sting as well. And John mentioned baking soda. Yep, I've heard that too, but I'm not sure that's so easy to have on hand. Most dive centres and boats have big bottles of vinegar right on hand for when it happens.
And just a quick update on my air, because I am going through it quite quickly. So I'm on 70 bar right now.
Pat, we are going to ask you to end the dive. The weather up surface is really not looking too good. So for safety reasons, we've had a great dive and we would like to end it now and bring you back to the surface. Is that okay?
Yes, no worries. That storm was looking pretty violent off in the distance. So yes, always best to put safety first. So thank you everybody for joining me today. We saw a lot of fish in such a small amount of time. I had a really fun time down here. So thanks heaps to Emil for being awesome on camera, and thanks to Lauren for just knowing pretty much everything there is to know. Thank you all for joining me, and we'll be back with you under the water 7 AM and 11 AM Grand Cayman time tomorrow.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, diveLIVE family. Sorry about that, but we will be back with you tomorrow. See you then.